Hi, welcome back to the new series of class 11th. This is part 2 of the chapter Geography as a Discipline. In case you have not seen my first video, the link is in the description box. In the previous video, we have studied why we should study geography, what is geography, and its different various aspects. And now we'll continue from here. Geography studies the spatial organization and spatial integration. It is taught how to organize and integrate spatially. Geography teaches. There are three sets of questions concerned with geography. Number one, about what? Any cultural feature or pattern, natural pattern is what it is. First of all, we have to understand what it is. Then the next question is where these patterns are found, natural habitat or any cultural feature or surface which is natural, where are these found? Now the third question is where. Okay, where are these found? Second question is there. And taken together, both questions, when taken together, they show the distributional and locational aspects. How locational means where and distributional means what. Okay, distributional and locational aspects of the natural and cultural features. Okay, and what features and were located. These questions provided about what features and where located. What are the features and where are these features located? These two questions have asked. But our scientific discipline was not complete. It was incomplete. It was incomplete without the invention of the third question. Before the third question was added. Okay, and this question was related to the explanation or the causal relationship between features and the processes and phenomena. Any feature, it means suppose there is a plateau. Okay, it is a feature, and the processes and phenomena, how it is formed or what happens or how it happens, this is the relation or relationship between features and processes. Okay, this question is related to why it happens, why volcano erupts. Okay, why mountains formed, why plateaus are formed. This is related to why. Geography as a discipline is related to space and takes note of spatial characteristics and attributes. Okay, the points which I have underlined, these are the important points. It can be asked in exam point of view also. So it will be better if you underline in your book. Okay, so geography studies the patterns of distribution, location, and concentration of phenomena over space and interprets them, providing explanations for these patterns. It takes note of the associations and interrelationships between the phenomena over space and interprets them, providing explanations for these patterns. So this is the major, or you can say major role of the geography. It studies the patterns of distribution. Why? This is the pattern, its location, and where it is concentrated, how it is concentrated. Okay, and it explains the reasons for these different patterns. Okay, now we'll learn the next topic, geography as an integrating discipline. So geography attempts spatial synthesis and history attempts temporal synthesis. The meaning of the word spatial is space and time. Okay, and history means time, and geography means space, right? So the approach of geography is to study spatial synthesis, that is space. Okay, spatial synthesis, and history attempts about temporal, that is time. Okay, it studies about time. Its approach is holistic in nature. It recognizes the fact that the world is a system of interdependencies. Okay, technology has provided better chances of monitoring natural phenomena as well as the economic and social parameters. Now, all the sciences, whether natural or social, have one basic objective of understanding the reality. They all try to understand the reality. What is the reality? Now, the next point is geography helps in understanding the reality in totality as its spatial perspective. So, this is what the role of geography. It helps you understand the reality. Okay, it integrates them holistically, the reality, and then integrates them holistically. Fine, which may be different at other places, and some places it may be different. Now here it has told in these lines, In these lines, it has told that the spatial depth provided defense to many countries, particularly in the last century. In traditional warfare, countries with large size and area gain time at the cost of space. The defense provided by oceanic expanse around the countries of the New World has protected them from wars being imposed on their soil. If we look at the historical events world over, each one of them can be interpreted geographically. It is telling how warfare activities, how countries with large size in area have gone gain time at the cost of space. This all have discussed the importance of wars, importance of soil on in case of wars. So, okay, fine. That at which places wars should be placed. All are the factors which have geography only teaches us. Like these are the examples. Will be here. I'll tell you that in Himalayas have acted as barriers, okay, and provided protection, but at the same time it has passes which provides routes to the migrants and invaders from Central Asia. So the role of Himalayas, there are two roles of Himalayas. It provides us protection, and at the same time it provides passes or routes, you can say, to the migrants from Central Asia. And the sea coast has encouraged contact with people from East and Southeast Asia. And the seas, it has provided us contact with people from East and Southeast Asia, okay, from East and Southeast Asia. Europe and Africa, fine. They all have relations with India, and they trade. These countries trade with us. So this is possible just because of sea route, okay, and this is possible just because of geography. This all come under geography. There's a tribute, credit goes to geography, fine. Navigation technology helped European countries to colonize a number of countries of Asia and Africa, including India, as they got accessibility through oceans, fine. So as I told you before, the geographical factors have modified the course of history in different parts of the world. So these geographical factors have modified the course of history. If there would have not been course of ocean, then Portuguese would have not came and ruled over India these many years. Okay, so they have molded the the route of history. Okay, they have modified the course of history. This is just possible because of history, and many countries, Western countries, which are trading till today with us, they might have not traded with us if there would have not been a geography. Okay, every geographical phenomena undergoes change through time and can be explained temporally. The changes in landforms, climate, vegetation, economic activities, occupations, and cultural developments have followed a definite historical course. Okay, so there are different historical course for everything. Okay, they convert. So now geography can be converted time in terms of space and space in terms of time. So logically it's very possible due to geography only. So here they have given example that place A and place B, the distance between place A and place B is 1500 kilometer, and you can also say that it's 2 hours. Okay, it's 2 hours away. So you can say it in both sentences. So it has provided us to speak in both terms of time and space. Okay, so this is possible just because of geography, and due to this reason only, time is an integral part of geographical studies. Without time, geography is incomplete. Okay, so time is very important. Now it has told us to mention the other 3 dimensions, and I want you to search it and write it in the comment section. Other 3 dimensions of the geography, please write it. Now figure 1 amply depicts the linkages of geography with different natural and social sciences. This linkage can be put under 2 segments: physical geography and natural sciences. Now we'll go to figure 1.1 and we'll see all the linkages, okay, all the sciences. Now we'll start from here. Geology, okay, geology and geography are interlinked. Now geomorphology, it is also interlinked. In geomorphology, it is also talked about. Without geography, it is incomplete. Geography is taken into consideration in geomorphology also. Here meteorology, What we study climate in meteorology, we study climate, and in geography we need to study climate. Okay, so meteorology is linked with geography. This also these all sciences are linked with geography. We'll see it one by one. Okay, so hydrology also, oceans, this is all the part of geography. Now oceanography, this is the part of geography. Here pedology, soil geography, botany, phytogeography, then zoology. Don't skip this diagram, this is very important diagram, and if you add this means draw this diagram in your answer copy, it will be value addition. Okay, you'll gain marks. Botany, phytogeography, then zoology, zoo geography, ecology, human ecology. This all are related to geography, right? You might know. If you don't know the meaning or anything, you can Google it. Then you will understand the deep meaning, and then you can understand that both of these subjects are correlated among themselves. Okay. And if I'll go on explaining you these things, it will be a long video. Now environmental geography, environmental science, cultural geography, anthropology, geographical thoughts, geography, social geography, sociology, historical geography, history, political geography, political science, population geography, demography, economic geography, economics, and statistics, econometrics, quantitative techniques in geography, maths and astronomy, mathematical and astronomical geography, geology, over. Okay, so these are all these are the fields of geography. These all are linked with geography in one way or the other. Okay, in exam, if you don't remember all this, you can only remember few of them and link them with each other. Okay, find them. So now we will be linking physical geography with natural sciences. Okay, and so the very first line here, it is told that a geographer should have some proficiency in mathematics and art. As there are latitudes and longitudes in geography, and the main challenge lies in converting these longitudes and latitudes into maps. Okay, and which is a two-dimensional map, is a two-dimensional, and for this a geographer should be proficient in mathematics. Okay, he should be well aware with mathematics so that he can convert it in two-dimensional. Okay, which is map. The cartographic and quantitative techniques require sufficient proficiency in mathematics, statistics, and econometrics. Maps are preferred through artistic imagination, and therefore cartographic work require proficiency in arts also. Without imagination in arts, you can't convert latitudes and longitudes into maps. Okay, now the next topic, we will be linking geography with different social sciences, how they are linked with social sciences. Okay, now the first line, every discipline has a philosophy which is the raison d'etre for that discipline. This is the very main line. Okay, so the meaning of this particular line is that philosophy provides roots to a discipline and the process of its evolution. It also experiences distinct historical processes. Fine. So next, all the social sciences disciplines, that is sociology, political science, economics, and demography, study different aspects of social reality. So we will study the core concern of political science is territory, people, and sovereignty. Okay, and while political geography is also interested in the study of the state as a spatial unit as well as people and their political behavior. So geography and the thing what they have tried to tell in geography and social sciences is how these are interrelated. So likewise, the population geography is also closely linked with the discipline of demography. Okay, demography studies about population geography, right? Some odd what. Okay, now here geographers use data obtained from sister disciplines. Okay, these are the sister disciplines. Okay, and geographers use this data to get on a conclusion, right? So to attempt synthesis over a space, to attempt synthesis over space. Now we will study about branches of geography. Now we will be studying branches of geography, okay, and the different approaches to study geography. So the first of all, we will study different approaches to study geography, and the first approach is systematic, and second is regional approach. Okay, the systematic approach is simple, that is general geography. It is same as that of general geography. Okay, it was first introduced by Alexander von Humboldt, German geographer. He was a German geographer, and his lifespan is 1969 to 1859. Okay, and the regional geography, which is the second approach, is was introduced by Karl Ritter. Okay, his lifespan was 1779 to 1859, right? So I'll recommend you to underline these lines which I have highlighted in yellow color or red in your book, so it will be easy for you all. Then we will read about systematic geography. Okay, systematic approach is a phenomenon which is studied world over as a whole, and then the identification of typologies or spatial patterns is done. Okay, for example, here example is given. If you want to study natural vegetation, you have to study with the world at world level. Okay, then now we'll move on to regional approach. That regional approach, in regional approach, the world is divided into regions at different hierarchical levels. Okay, then the next, the phenomenon in a region are studied in a holistic manner, searching for unity in diversity. Okay, and one main approach here in geography we have studied from beginning only. Main focus has been given in dualism. It is dualism. Okay, so in this human geography with emphasis on human activities, it has let focus on human geography. Okay, and with human activities. Why? Is because these human beings are an integral part of the earth surface. Okay, they are living on the earth surface. Okay, so they are part and parcel of nature, and so they have contributed their cultural development. It is written here only. Okay, now we'll move on to the branches of geography. Okay, based on the systematic approach. There were two approaches, systematic and regional approach, and we will study on based on the systematic approach. Okay, so first of all, we will study about physical geography, right? In physical geography, it is geomorphology. Geomorphology is studied devoted to the study of landforms. Okay, now climatology, it studies the structure of atmosphere. Fine, climatology, you can relate it with climatology, climate. And then hydrology, it studies the realm of water over the surface of the earth, how like oceans, lakes. Okay, this all their activities on human life, it's all studies in hydrology. Then soil geography. Soil geography is a study devoted to the processes of soil formation, soil types, and their fertility status, distribution, and their use. Okay, now we'll move on to human geography. In human geography, you can relate with the name itself. It's all related to the humans. So in that, social and cultural geography, it encompasses the study of society, right? And then in population and settlement geography, it studies the population growth, distribution, density. And then in economic geography, it studies about economic activities of the people, including agriculture, industry, tourism, trade, and transport. Like then in historical geography, it studies the historical processes and through which the space gets organized, right? In this chapter only we have studied that the geography, it gives about spatial approach, and history about temporal synthesis. It talks about temporal synthesis, and that about geography about spatial synthesis. Okay, it was important that I have taught in my previous video. You can refer it to that video. If you have not seen my last video, the link is in the description box. Now we'll move on to the branches of geography based on systematic approach. Here it is given in a table form. It is physical. You can read it once and it will be enter in your mind. Okay, it is physical. There, first of all, physical, principal geography or philosophy, methods and techniques, and human geography. Okay, now physical is divided into geomorphology, climatology, hydrology, and soil geography. Now what we have studied just now. Okay, then principles or philosophy is divided into geographical thought, human ecology. Then methods and techniques is divided into cartography, quantitative techniques, and field survey methods on geoinformatics. This is divided into geoinformatics is divided into GIS, GPS, and LIS. Human geography is divided into, here all divisions are there. Okay, now we look on political geography. Okay, Political geography looks at the space from the angle of political events, studies boundaries and space relations. Okay, now we'll move on to biogeography. It is an interface between physical geography and human geography, and this has led to the development of biogeography. Okay, and biogeography includes plant geography, which studies the spatial pattern of natural vegetation in their habitats. Okay, then we'll come to zoo geography. This studies so zoo geography. It studies the spatial patterns and geographic characteristics of animals and their habitats. Okay, so this is the main point. Zoo means you can relate with animals and their habitats. Okay, now ecology or ecosystem, it deals with the scientific study of the habitats and characteristics of species. Okay, this all the branches of different geographies you should remember, should come in 1 mark question. Okay, environmental geography concerns world over, leading to the realization of environmental problems such as land gradation. Okay, this is gradation, pollution and concerns for conservation has resulted in the introduction of this new branch in geography. Now we'll move on to the branches of geography based on regional approach. Okay, till now we have read based on systematic approach, and now we'll move on to regional approaches. Okay, regional studies. Now regional studies or area studies, it comprises macro, meso and micro regional studies. Okay, regional, now second, regional planning, it also comprises of a country, rural and town urban planning, and then regional development, regional analysis. As you can see, regional analysis. Now we'll move on to here field survey methods, geoinformatics, comprising techniques such as remote sensing, GIS, GPS, etc. Okay, this above classification gives a comprehensive format of the branches of geography, right? Then the capacity of attempt analysis. Here the capacity to attempt analysis has increased tremendously. Okay, this has increased. GIS has further opened vistas of knowledge. GPS has become a handy tool to find out exact locations. It is used to find out exact locations. Technologies have enhanced the capacity of attempting synthesis with sound theoretical understandings. Okay, now physical geography and its importance. We will learn about its importance, physical geography. Here branches of geography based on regional approach is given. We have seen branches of geography based on systematic approach. Previously I have shown you the figure, and this is figure 1.3. Here based on regional approach it is shown. Here it is divided into regional studies, then development, regional analysis, then planning. Then these are further divided into macro, meso and micro. Okay, here regional planning also in country, rural planning or town and urban planning. Okay, now we'll move on further. Then here physical geography includes the study of lithosphere. Okay, in lithosphere it comes landforms, drainage, relief and physiography. Okay, then the study of atmosphere, which includes composition, its structure, elements and controls of weather and climate. Okay, then temperature, pressure, winds, precipitation, climatic types, these are coming under the physical geography. Okay, this comes under physical geography. Then it comes hydrosphere also, oceans, seas, lakes and associated features. Okay, and biosphere, this all comes under physical geography, should not get confused with food chain, ecological parameters and ecological balance. Okay, here soils are formed through the process of pedogenesis. It can be asked in 1 more question, or so you should know that soils are formed through the process of pedogenesis and depend upon the parent rocks. Okay, it depends upon the parent rocks, climate, biological activity and time. So these were all. Then landforms provide the base on which human activities are located. Okay, the plains are utilized for agriculture. Then plateaus provide forests and minerals. Okay, the utilities can be asked. These utilities you should learn. Okay, Mountains provide pastures, forests, tourist spots, and sources of rivers. These are all important ones. Okay, should learn it. Then we will look forward on what is geography, which is an important concept. Geography has been uh, defined by two geographers. One is Richard Hartshorne, who was the discoverer of systematic geography, and the other Hettner, who was the discoverer of regional geography. Okay, so Richard Hartshorne has said geography is concerned with the description and explanation of the areal differentiation of the earth's surface. Okay, this is the main keyword, areal differentiation of the earth's surface. Okay, and Hettner has defined geography as it studies the differences of phenomena usually related in different parts of the earth's surface. Okay, so these are about the definition of about two geographers about geography. Okay, so that's about all about this chapter. If you liked my video, please like, share and subscribe this channel. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll be bringing next video on my second chapter. Till then, stay tuned.